Texas Republicans, under the orders of that guy, Greg Abbott, have finally unveiled their even more radically gerrymandered map, and it's as awful as you can imagine. So the assumption would be that they're gonna try to take five more congressional seats, and it's looking like this map has a very good chance of producing this. So this follows not only Greg Abbott calling for them to do this again. They're not supposed to be doing redistricting for another 5 years. So it would already be blatantly partisan if it happened in 5 years. They're racing to get to it now to save Donald Trump from the effects of his policies. And so they're doing it. It would target current Democratic members of Congress in districts in and around Austin, Dallas, and Houston, as well as 2 already endangered Democrats representing South Texas districts that Trump carried last year. And so effectively, it's gonna pitch some of the Democrats against each other. It's going to move some populations to make it far more likely that these seats go for the Republicans. And I wanna be very clear, we've already given you the numbers, I'm not gonna jump into those again. Texas, in terms of like presidential politics and statewide elections, it's not purple, but it's just outside of purple. Like the Democrats are a little bit less popular than the Republicans. Despite that, the Republicans already have almost all of the congressional seats. After this, they would have almost every single one. And every time that they come out and say that people should have the right to vote for who they support, just understand that they know they are supporting an outcome where a very significant portion, 42, 43% of their state would have almost nobody who represents them in Congress. It's fundamentally anti-democratic and unjust, but they're doing it because this is the only way they can stay in power. It's the way the system is set up with the Senate and all that. It's the way they've used that to steal control of the Supreme Court. And it's the fact that they've locked in state legislatures and in Congress, overwhelming overrepresentation of their actual positions. So that's what they're doing right now. Now, some Dems wanna fight back against this, and I cannot support them enough in doing that. So one of those is Gavin Newsom, a guy who I disagree with on a lot, but he's been a warrior on the topic of gerrymandering, saying that if Texas and these other states decide to steal these seats, well, what's good for the Republican is good for the gander, and they could do that here in California. Now, JD Vance has been very mad about this, okay? And he says the gerrymander in California is outrageous. Of their 52 congressional districts, 9 of them are Republican. That means 17% of their delegation is Republican, when Republicans regularly win 40% of the vote in that state. How can this possibly be allowed? And I want to ask the audience, what's my position on rhetorical questions generally? That they're pointless and you should try to answer those questions. How can this be allowed, JD Vance? Because nobody's outlawed it. Would you like to? Are you implying that you would like to stop this from happening? Because we could work together. We could actually unveil the JD Vance Iadarola Independent Redistricting Commission bill if you actually are against this. Or is it that you're as fake on this as you are on literally everything else, and the only issue you have is that it's happening in California, and you're totally cool for it to happen in every other state? Spoiler alert, that wasn't a rhetorical question. That is exactly what his position is. Also, he's wrong. Look, is California gerrymandered to some extent? Yes, it is. Is it one of the most gerrymandered states? No, it very much is not, which Gavin Newsom was very happy to point out, tweeting, "Try again, dum dum," which is, it's almost a perfect tweet. It should have been "Try again, you dumb donkey," but he doesn't watch the show, I guess. And he points out in that tweet, the most gerrymandered states, notably, California is not one of them. Texas already is before they do this next round of gerrymandering. And so Gavin Newsom is saying that if you guys do it, we're gonna do it too. Now, we could dive into the actual mechanics of doing it, and it does seem like it might be a little bit more difficult here for a variety of reasons having to do with the law. But if they can, they 100% should. And I say that even though I am just about the strongest advocate for independent redistricting across the country, but I know I'm a realist now, okay? I'm not an idealist anymore, I'm a realist. It's not gonna happen until it hurts the Republicans as much as it hurts the Democrats. And so we need to bring on the pain. And not just there, in literally every other state controlled by Democrats, they should squeeze the Republicans until they pop. Now, they are getting ready in Texas to try to stop this from happening. The Democrats are starting to raise some money, so that if they need to literally flee the state so that there won't be quorum to vote on this, they can do that. Now, this has previously happened for decades now in Texas. The Democrats have been forced to do this, and the Republicans of the past have been perfectly willing to track them down and arrest them. I have to imagine in the fascistic situation we're in right now, it might go beyond that. I don't know if these legislators will end up in alligator Alcatraz or whatever, but I want to give preemptive support to these Democrats when they try to do it, and please assist them in their fundraising. But I would also just say everybody needs to prepare yourselves, because I don't know what's going to end up happening. These are very dark times, and the Republicans are very worried about losing the midterms. They have to get this redistricting. I don't know what they'll be willing to do in pursuit of that, but it could get very dark.